Welcome to the Amazon's podcast. I'm Glenn Young, owner of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to Amazon'sFitMag.com. The podcast is brought to you by GPS Photography and Video. Why photography and video? Because of a photo's worth 1,000 words, video's worth 1,000,000. GPSPhotoandVideo.com. And of course, Amazon's Fitness Magazine is a publication of GPS Photography and Video. Joining me back on Amazon's podcast, number 3 in the world, New York Pro Champion, 2024 Rookie of the Year in Women's Bodybuilding Division, ladies and gentlemen, Ashley Jones.
Hello again. Hello. Thank you for having me.
As always, so great to have you. And also, former sponsored athlete of Amazon's Fitness Magazine.
Absolutely. Forever grateful for that. So thank you.
Always. 2025 season, believe it or not, Ashley, as of today, is 179 days before the Olympia. 6 months.
6 months.
I counted. And I was like, wow. So, what's been going on? Have you started prep?
Yes. So we have started prep. Mainly right now, just focusing a little bit more focused on my business with my athletes. So how we were talking before, I like to kind of upload or bring on a lot more athletes at the start of the year so I can focus on them, what they want to do with competitions. Because a lot of people have said, Ashley, if you want to be number one, you can't really be a coach and an athlete. And I'm like, don't tell me what I can't do. So just really making sure that the service that I'm still providing for them, it is still 100% just as if I was giving, towards my prep as well. So right now, just kind of focusing on my athletes while still starting prep for this year's Olympia. And everything just seems good. Not having the pressure of having, to qualify again for this year's Olympia. But I think this year's going to be different, obviously. And it just feels good. It feels good just kind of smooth sailing going into it and having literally that one goal in mind. So, yeah.
And talk to me a little bit more about that. Going into the year already qualified, it's a different type of strategy. It's less stress, but in a way you could say it's more stress.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy because a lot of people, some people do better when they compete more. And I don't want to say like I don't do better, but I feel like for me, because I am so this is still new for me. Like this is still year number 2 for me.
Exactly.
So still maintaining all this extra mass that I've never had before, which I don't think a lot of people take into consideration. My body is still getting very much adjusted. So just taking that into consideration, and my coach is like, all right, we got a full year to do one thing and get one goal. Let's fucking go. So it just feels good knowing that we're able to do what we are known to do, and hopefully pull out that win this year. So yeah.
And of course, Andrew Vu is your coach.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a relaxing state.
Yes.
As you prepare, a lot goes into the strategy. Have y'all talked anything about how you want to strategize? Where do you need to improve? Judges' feedback. Give me all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the main thing for me is, especially with coming from the look that we provided for New York versus the look we provided for with Olympia conditioning, we actually were, we probably about 5 to 7 pounds heavier, I want to say, for Olympia. So obviously that's going to be a little different look than New York. But conditioning, it's just conditioning. But again, a lot of people don't understand, like when you're in prep from January going all the way till October, that's a lot. That's a lot, So we don't have to technically focus on that part of doing the ebbs and flows of going in prep, out of prep, all that. So that's mainly the focus of our strategy for this year was getting top 3, hopefully getting the win, and then obviously not having to worry about requalifying. So in regards to what he wants me to focus on for my training, he actually just told me this on my last check, and he was like, keep working that upper body. The growth is getting there to where I want it to be, and just keep hammering that back. I mean, he wants that back like Samson's. And I'm like, let's go. So, and I'm here for it. So, yeah.
New York Pro, then Rising Phoenix, but this year's a little bit different. Like I said, you already qualified for the Olympia. The Rising Phoenix is a little bit of a change in reference to the money, prize money being spread out. It's still an Invitational.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that? Will you compete
Yeah.
in the Rising Phoenix?
So it was heavy. Like it was heavy to read that because literally like all of us women bodybuilder sisters was like in each other's DMs like, sis, did you see that? Did you see that? Like what's happening?
Mhm.
So I was reaching out to people were reaching out to me saying if I got any details about it. And I'm like, bro, I know just as much as you do. And it's just like reading the whatever they posted on Instagram saying like it's no longer needed as like a pinnacle of the sport. And I'm kind of like, really? Because that was like the hype of the year besides Olympia for our division. So to see that and to say again, like I put in my stories when talking about it, is nothing against spreading our prize money to the other categories because coming from figure to physique to now, but I love that. I want all of us to shine and get what we rightfully deserve. But when something is dedicated directly and purposely for one division, it's kind of like, why make these changes? Unless there's a greater good coming down the road for it. Like, are you going to apply that money more towards our Olympia prize money? Then cool, let's go. But I feel like we need to have a little bit more information instead of be left in the dark a little bit, But with that said, like my coach was like, okay, well, how you feeling about it? And I was like, I follow your lead. So if you think it's best to do that, because I think this year it's only like 3 or 4 weeks out from the Olympia, which isn't bad at all. But I mean, this is just me being real. If it's like another $5,000 check, is that really worth it when I could get 50,000 putting all of my eggs in one basket for Olympia? I'm still going to represent. That is not at all, the problem. But it's just kind of like what's going to be best for me and my body to give the best look for Olympia. Because at the end of the day, are people going to remember, oh, she was Rising Phoenix champ, or no, she going to be remembered for being 2025 Miss Olympia? I'll take this one. So it's still up in the air until we get all the information because I base my, decisions off of having all the facts laid in front of me. We'll decide. We'll definitely decide. So, but yeah.
Very prestigious show. It's still early.
Yes.
You got to figure if it went from a car and 50,000, if it drops to half that, $25,000, still nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
Do you really see other competitors turning that down or not going? Obviously, the top three excluded, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will, honestly, because regardless of any situation that's going on with finances, with whether it's the promoters or finding sponsors, it is still our goal, number one goal, to go to the Olympia. So if that is one of the only ways we can go and get that opportunity to step on stage in front of head judges who are going to be right there looking at us, we'll still have representation at that show. It's just, I think with us taking a stand to still show up, I hope that for those who can make the change of the prize money, I hope they see that and say, wow, these girls really want to, show out. And we do, but give us more of an opportunity and a little something to go for that. So, yeah. I do think that people will definitely show up for sure.
It's going to be interesting if the AAA show up. Angela, and of course Ashley. But I mean, it is what it is because it's something to think about. Because at the same time, the ultimate goal is to win the Olympia, and it's 3 to 4 weeks out from there.
Yeah,
you may not want to risk it. Strategy wise, I mean, because at the end of the day, Miss Rising Phoenix versus Miss Olympia.
Yeah, exactly. Which one more weight? I mean, they both are tremendous titles, but you're going to be in the books of Miss Olympia. Like that's something that everybody wants to have, So, yeah.
And when you look at women's bodybuilding, all of a sudden the Tampa Pro was not going to have women's bodybuilding. Then it came back, and it really slid. It lit a fire in everybody. A lot of comments. It was like, "What's going on? Why now?" And the Tampa Pro was always a perennial show. It is a perennial show. I think it's bigger, more towards women's physique because at one year they hit 25 women's physique competitors.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But at the same time, you don't want to lose another women's bodybuilding show. What went through your mindset as you saw it initially?
So when that happened again, I want to know, like, hey, what is the deeper cause? Because we're seeing now one after the other show chopping away at women's bodybuilding, and again, being real, the number one thing that a lot of us are thinking, the league is trying to push more for the natural shows and a natural portion of shows, which again, go for it. Hello, we all started somewhere.
Right.
And the same thing with the fit model division. I understand this is a business, and I am also looking at it as a businesswoman to a larger business. They want to make money, and they know that if they bring in other divisions that can bring in more eyes and more shine and exposure, that can be a way to bring in hopefully more prize money for us. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, don't take away what is already here to better this opportunity here. We're here. We're part of the foundation of the sport as well, giving it what it deserves as well. So it's like, just look at what you have and try to water what you have before trying to add things that can be down the road later, something that grows into something bigger. But it was like, geez, what are we not doing that needs to be done to keep these shows, running? But to see all of us coming together, and literally, like, Sheena had the podcast for her, that she was like asking, hey ladies, what are we doing? Like, what can we do? Like, we all came together, and I truly do hope that people who are higher up and are looking at what's going on outside of their office, they can see that we are rallying together to keep women's bodybuilding alive, because we're not going anywhere. We're not. No. So,
despite what people think or what people may want, no, you're not.
Exactly. And just, again, shout out to Jake Woods for getting that sponsorship back to say, hey, can I let my ladies go? So very, very appreciative to him for making sure that we are still in the forefront at a very prestigious show, like you said, Tampa Pro.
Yeah. You definitely need more shows, not less.
Yes.
I mean, that's the gauntlet coming down the end of the summer. Chicago Pro, Atlanta Pro with Linda Murray, and then the Tampa. And then everybody's looking forward to the Rising Phoenix. So, I mean, that's the heat of the season.
That's it. Exactly. So, and that's why I really do feel like we're going to show up. We're going to show up for those 4 shows. Every year, it's always a good amount of ladies that show up, and the competition is fierce. It's always fierce. So why not keep that? Why not, give the fans, that's at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Give the fans what they want. And they do. If they shown after last year, if that wasn't a testament to the fans showing up for us, like, come on, So yeah.
And when I look at it, for me, from the standpoint of Amazon's Fitness Magazine and having a podcast, there are a lot of male podcasters out there that have an opinion, got some great conversation going on. And I'm talking about the male podcasters. They haven't wrote one check. It's tax season this weekend, right? Had to get all the receipts up, and yes, the tax write-off, and I still got to go back and do some addendums. But women's bodybuilding is in my budget every month, so I account for it. And so it wasn't just a clickbait thing for me. It was a thing of, okay, what can I do? And so a lot of thoughts went through my mind. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm like, okay, if the sanction fee is X, and then the prize money should be Y, and I'm like, okay, what was it going to equal to? And I said, well, if and next thing I know, it was over, and they said the show was back on. But I had some real thoughts going through my head, because at the same time, okay, you do this, and you got to look over your shoulder. The Triple O about to happen. And you got Linda Murray, and you got the female promoters like, hey, what the hell, Glenn? Really? So it hits different. You know what I'm saying? If you're Amazon's Fitness Magazine, you got to be for the women, which I am. But it hits different if a female promoter, because can you imagine if Andrea Shaw could not have women's bodybuilding at her show, or Linda Murray?
Exactly.
It hits different.
It does.
Male promoter, like, well, we pretty much expected that. We would hope they were going to do the right thing, the male promoters. But when a female promoter cannot have, honestly, all 7 divisions now at the show, it's a different optic.
It is
for me. So it's like, you gotta, I gotta be careful about where you put your money in, and who you supporting. And not that I don't support all the promoters. Don't get me wrong, but the female promoters, they're the ones that's got a vested interest in women's bodybuilding and all the women's divisions.
100%. And it's crazy. Like I said, I ran a story asking for, some of my followers to say, like, hey, what can we do? What do you feel like we can do as ambassadors of the division, what can be done. And even surprisingly, a lot of the males were like, I'm just going to be real and say, we got to show up for y'all. And I'm just like, thank you. Thank you. Because at the end of the day, we're going to support the open guys. We're going to support classic men's physique ever. So we need that type of support. And I'm not saying that they haven't. Like, there have been a lot of supporters from those different divisions, but it's just like, we need a little bit more. Is that we've seen it year after year that we haven't had as much, or if not the same amount of support as, you know, the other divisions. And yes, of course, we know they're going to say, well, women's bodybuilding doesn't bring as much. Fine. But at the end of the day, we're still bringing something in to fill up the pockets, and that you can't negate that at all. So, or disregard that. So yeah, everybody effort.
Every division, every women's division has a fan base.
Yes.
You got to tap into it.
Yeah.
And y'all's fan base, as far as women's bodybuilding, they're out there.
Yes.
Now, are they going to come to the shows?
Yeah.
You know, are they going to subscribe to the magazine? Are they going to subscribe to the website? Because when they do more, I can do more, obviously. But at the same time, they got to show up at the shows. You're right. Yeah. Because whether they show up at the competition stage or they want to see you in other types of venue, which we don't need to get into, but I'm like, you do have a fan base out there. You just need to wake them up.
Yeah, 100%. It'll happen. I definitely think that, especially with all the changes that are happening this year, I definitely think that they're going to see, okay, we can't mess with women's bodybuilding because they're like, we ride it on. And we do, because you can't take away something that is so precious to the sport of bodybuilding in general. It was built off of us. So taking away the birth of it, you just can't do that. You can't do that. So yeah. I really do feel like there's going to be a greater good that comes from this, and we're all going to be like, okay, that's why that happened. So I'm just keeping it positive and trying to make sure, you know, everyone else knows, like, hey, it's a team effort. It takes a village to make a change, but sparking these conversations and keeping them going in the forefront, that's what has to keep happening week after week, month after month. So yeah.
Hey, I'm going down with the ship. So
I know you are. Okay. Absolutely.
Out there.
Absolutely. And now we truly appreciate, because you don't have to do this. You do not. And people need to understand this is a choice that you have made to show your support and to bring a platform that is going to be given to us female athletes. So again, I say this every time I'm on. Thank you. Like, we are all forever grateful for you. And I hope others who are looking at this and are thinking, like, well, how can I help? Maybe I should reach out to Glenn. Please do. Like, any idea you've always been like, how can we make it happen? Who do you need to talk to? Let's go. But it has to have that collaboration of people taking action instead of just doing this. So yeah.
Talking it and walking it is two different things.
Preach on this Sunday.
You know, you got a good clickbait. Yeah, to get you some more follows on your podcast, but it's time to write some checks.
Absolutely.
You can do something. You know,
absolutely.
I don't give a care if the pro card is $275. You can do something.
Exactly. And that's the reason why, like, last year,
I'm talking about it. Hey, you ain't about it.
Right. Exactly. Because like last year, I wanted to sponsor the national athlete, the national whatever show was. Yeah, nationals.
Yes.
And like the turnout for that, I think we had like 15 applicants that came through, and I was just like, woo. All right, like, this is amazing. Everybody's story was great, but we have to put ourselves in those positions to give back. Okay, so it's just like, even with Figure being almost eliminated from the Texas Pro, and then luckily we had IFBB Pro Rachel Sedgwick stepped up, and I'm just like, that's what we need. But why are we fighting for our own categories? Where's our love? Where's our backing? Where's our support? So it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. But if that's one thing about us women in all divisions,
and in women's physique at the Triple A Dynasty, but if you think that just women's bodybuilding division is under attack, it's all of them. Because if they take you out, then they go after women's physique, Figure, and you're already seeing it.
Absolutely. And same thing with, I think Sydney said it when she was giving out the Figure award, which I think is matched for a second highest amount for Figure. I think
$1,000.
Yeah, she was like, she literally took that mic and said, Figure ladies, if y'all keep showing up for me, I'll keep showing up for y'all. Because she said she worked her ass off to get this check. And I said, that is how you continue to leave the legacy that she has left. And it's amazing to have her as a leader of the sport. Still, with her being retired from the sport, she's still very much active in it, and people need to take lessons from that for sure. So yeah.
But you gotta say, put a pin in it. Is she retired? Is she? It's April.
Listen, you never know.
Is she?
You never know. You never know.
Let's be clear. Linda Murray took some time off and came back. I mean, I'm just saying.
Look up. With a lifetime qualification for the Olympics.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then, of course, shout out to Andrea Shaw.
Yeah.
$7,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be this definite starting point for me with the prize money, and then make sure it's the sinking fee. But I'm gonna do something. I don't know what. It all comes down to budget. But I know it's in my heart.
Yes.
Like I said, women's bodybuilding is in my budget every month, so it is what it is. So you got to keep it going. I'm still hopeful that maybe after the season there will be a summit for everybody to get together and talk. But I do understand the promoter side, and I understand the competitor side, and so you got to figure it out because. But don't just think it's just women's bodybuilding. All divisions are on their table.
Oh yeah, because I think there was Charlotte Pro. That was just this past week, and I think Figure was on that as well. Yeah. And a lot of girls were like, well, let me strategize again and come out with another plan for a show. So it's a lot. It's a lot of
competitors that I knew that were already in heavy prep and were looking at the Charlotte Pro.
Yeah.
And then there was no Figure. There was no wellness.
Yes.
They ended up with bikini and men's physique. And I'm like, oh, man, this is bad.
Exactly.
It is what it is. You come to dinner, you're glad to have dessert, but where's the meal?
There you go. That's the best way to put it.
That was a very telling sign. And that's close to me. That's 2 hours away. So I'm like,
yeah.
Now I got to figure out and drive to Pittsburgh, drive to Atlanta, drive to Tampa. It is what it is.
Absolutely. Still very blessed that we have this platform and opportunity to do what we love and to showcase our physiques on these, again, prestigious stages. But something's got to give. Something's got to give. And something inside of me is telling me that this year it's going to happen. Whatever it may be, I really, truly feel like it's going to happen. So, yeah.
But I know I'm planning. We'll just see what happens and go from there. But I mean,
yes. And speaking of triple, I got to shout out Salika because I love her. I know she's next on the podcast, but
in the next hour,
I got to shout out my girl because when baby girl stepped out, I said, "Give it to her, give it to her." She, I love her so much, and I cannot wait to literally be up there on that Olympia stage, represent, especially for us Black women, just to see us on a stage with so much attention around us. It's just like, let's go. And
you know what? Y'all sort of favor each other.
Yeah, everybody's been saying it. I'm like, say it. I take it.
Because I met her in Atlanta. I'm like, a little bit like Ashley.
Yes. Love her.
So it's going to be a great battle. I mean, it already is, summing up to be a great season with everyone who's already qualified and looking at it. And so I'm excited to see it.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Get as many as we can on stage,
Yes, absolutely. That's the ultimate goal. We just got to keep the shows on the calendar.
That's it. What's been your takeaway? I mean, you're number 3 in the world. Yeah, surely you separated, but 3 is not 1. How does Ashley Jones bring something different package? We already talked about the strategy, but what is that dog still in you? Do people want to know?
Always. And I was talking to one of my friends, and they were like, "You do know you're in the best position, right?" I was like, "What do you mean?" It was like, "You're number 3. Like everybody right now is like worried about what is number 2 doing to be number 1. How is number 1? Because Shaw has the most pressure. Okay, you're gonna make this another one in a row, And
going for 6.
Exactly, and that's heavy competition, and pressure. But here I am, just like, okay, hey, I'm number 3. I'm still new. All I got to do is show up and continue to do me, and that is what's going to help me keep progressing because that's all the game plan has been over the course of me starting for Figure and now going here. I haven't changed who I am. I'm still same old Ashley. I'm still the gymnast that you're going to recognize with the splits in her routine, the flexible one. Like, you're going to see all of that. And I think that is why I have stood out the way I have. And I'm going to stand 10 toes down on it, that I don't have to change anything. I don't have to be like any other athlete. The only thing that is needed is literally just bringing in that conditioning and continue to show up, praise God, and do me. And that's it. That is it. So,
and definitely shout out to the AAA that is Andrea Shaw,
yes,
Yo, and Ashley Jones. But then a shout out to Andrea Shaw from the standpoint, I met her at the Arnold's. We talked briefly. But at the same time, for her to be promoting the show while getting ready for the Ultimate show, still, even though it's just a couple of weeks or a week ago, that's a lot. While you still focus on yourself, travel around, engagements, obligations to your sponsors and stuff, and so
I mean, she's been everywhere with her sponsor Mutant, and I'm just like, the girl out there, she is showing the face and saying like, hey, I'm doing my part as Olympia champ, and as you should. So again, giving her all the credit as well, because like you said, 5 titles in a row, and then here comes almost, if she gets it this year, number 6, like that's a great accomplishment that many cannot say they've done. So she's showing out for us and for herself. So kudos to Shaw, because she's been an amazing leader of this division.
Have you thought about what you're going to do when you get your first one?
It's
going to happen. You got to figure. I mean, unless something happens, I mean, that's the push and all the attention and the accolades, and of course the fight that is being in that top 3, trying to get number 1 and knock her off the heel.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do? What are you going to say? Have you thought about it?
Every day I think of my speech. I literally after I'm in my shower, I'm like, all right, and new. Like I play it in my head all day, every day. Because I'm, again, like we talked about before, I'm a firm believer of manifesting and making sure that if I can see it, there's a reason why God planted it in my head. Right. So I just have to keep following, his path and saying like, okay, do the work and don't let the outside noise kind of drift you away from his plan. And you just got to wait and see what I say on October, what is it, 11th, 12th?
October 9th through the 12th.
To see what I say.
179 days.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, and VIP tickets go on sale tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
So check for those who want all the VIP access. Be sure to.
Yeah, the VIP, like, it's an expense, but we're going to see what we can do. But
it's worth it. So get those tickets for us, definitely. So yes.
Excited for it. I know you've been busy. Know you got to, do what you got to do. I really appreciate you coming on, and I'll give me your last thoughts.
Goodness.
We covered a lot of great stuff. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I look forward to it. Yes, I am working on a proposal for you, so I haven't forgot.
Hey, I'm like, please do it.
I'm like, shit, that joke is number 3 in the world. I got
loyalty. That's my thing. I'm not going nowhere. You know this. But no, seriously, just continue to support for whoever's watching. If you want to hit me up, please DM me, IvyStrong2 on Instagram. Please hit Glenn up. Anyone who you think can provide any type of assistance to your idea, we are all open ears, and we want to take action. We want to grow women's bodybuilding to be the biggest and baddest that it's ever been. And it has to start here. It has to start with us. It has to start with the fans. It has to start with promoters. Everyone takes a part into it. So just please continue to support. We won't let you down. But just know that this year, Olympia, it's going to be good. It's going to be
exciting.
Yes, 100%. So I'm excited. We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Thank you so much, Ashley. I really appreciate you. Be talking soon. All the best. Number 3 in the world, Ashley Jones.
Yes.
Talk soon. Bye-bye. It is what it is. It's going to be exciting as the season is well underway. Number 3 in the world, Ashley Jones. Always exciting to talk to her. And it's a thing now to keep women's bodybuilding around. Prize money, sanction fees. It is what it is. I know I'm too far in now to quit now. So let's go. Let's put it together. Let's come together. Shoot me your ideas. Shoot me your ideas if you're an investor, especially, and put something together and let's go from there. Up in the next hour, there she is, Salika Gavon, winner of the Triple O Dynasty. So coming up at the top of the hour. So tune in. So we got lots to talk about. I was excited to talk to her. This is her second time on the Amazon's podcast. First time as an Olympia qualifier. Celebrate the female physique. We'll see you in a little bit and talk soon.